And get started. My name is Laura Jackson. I am the volunteer coordinator for AHC. I really appreciate all of you being here tonight. Thank you so much for being willing to volunteer this year and for joining us for the orientation. Here is an overview of what we're going to go over tonight. And if everybody can have themselves on mute, that would be great. So I am going to talk about some stuff that applies to all of the volunteers at all of the centers. And so I'll be talking for 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to put you into breakout rooms with the center staff where you will be volunteering. And you'll be able to ask questions and get some more details at that point. So, all right, so we've already started with our elementary school students last week, and our teen program starts next week. AHC follows the Arlington Public School holidays, and there are a lot of holidays this year. So you can look in the chat, and there's a link to the school calendar. You can make notes right now. You can get out your phone and start writing this down if you'd like. Because when schools have holidays, we don't have program. So if it says no school, then we don't have program. If it says early release or something like that, we will have program. But if schools are closed, we are closed. And that is also true for weather closures. So it's not that time of year yet, but it will be. So if there's a snow day or something, we are also closed. Some of the weather delays and closures can be confusing. We will try to email you, but you're also welcome to reach out to us if you're just not sure. So the next thing I want to go over is the volunteer agreement. And if you've been volunteering before, you've seen this, but I think it's important to talk about it every year. We are asking our volunteers to help once a week and for the school year. I know that things are going to come up. Things come up, you'll get sick, you might travel, that's fine. Have work conflicts, whatever it is, we understand, but please, please, please let us know. The staff, you'll be working with the same students week after week. And even if it's the last minute, you let us know that you're not coming, then our staff can tell the students and we can change our plans around. A little bit later, we'll go through and make sure that everybody has the contact information at the center. So, so that'll be really important. The next thing is confidentiality. So, these are students that are in Arlington. Many of you live in Arlington. These are your neighbors, and you just want to keep anything that you learn about them confidential. It's their story, and whatever they share with you, you know, yours to hold on to. If there's anything concerning, please talk to the staff at the center. They see these students every day. They might not be able to share much about you if they have confidential information, but we just ask that you not share. For COVID, we are kind of following Arlington Public Schools, so which is now mask optional. So we are mask optional. We prefer it, but it's still optional. The most important thing that we can do to keep each other safe is to stay home if we are sick or have been exposed. I'm going to follow the CDC guidelines about the whole how long you need to stay home. I think it's 5 days right now. You're always welcome to send me an email and I can look it up for you, or you can look it up yourself. But please stay home. As much as we want your help and we want you to attend, we want you to stay home if you're sick for any reason, really. Okay, the next thing is boundaries. So you are working with children and teens, and we want to just talk about the boundaries in that relationship. The first one, I should probably move to the bottom. It's like the little bit tricky to explain. We really want you to build relationships with the students. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Go back. There we go. So we want you to get to know the students and build a relationship. So the personal questions is more like on sensitive topics, like, do you have an IEP? Have you been diagnosed with ADD? You know, if a student shares that with you, you don't say, oh, I'm not allowed to talk about that, but don't press them with questions. You're, again, welcome to talk to the staff. If you have any questions, please go through the staff. So our program is, you know, again, we want you to build a relationship, but not by doing things outside of our program. Social media is a great way to get to know each other. You can share funny cat videos, but not by following each other, but by, you know, you can pull up something on your phone, your student can pull up something on their phone, appropriate things, but not following each other, so that you'd be in touch outside of our program hours. All of our staff have cell phones, and we love to take pictures of our students working with their volunteers. If your student, there's anything that you want to capture, please just ask a staff member to take a picture of you and your student, or your student holding up their A report card or whatever it is. We're happy to get those pictures, but not for you to take them. Gifts. Sometimes people ask about that. They want to bring in incentives or maybe a book or something for their student. Always go through the staff about that. We don't want to create any jealousy among the students. So we're not saying no, but just be sure to check in with the staff about that. And then the touch part may be more relevant to the elementary school students. You know, if they come over and give you a hug, fantastic. But it should start with the student. So, and then the last thing is we're here to support you. So the staff know the students very well. They are going to help with any mischievous disruptions or anything, or just questions about what kind of resources we have. We are here to help you with the students, but if you don't ask, then we don't know. So we can't be, the staff can't be supervising that closely, but they're happy to help. So just ask whenever you need support. And the other thing in the volunteer agreement is that mandated reporter training that we ask everybody that's 18 and older to take. So please do that. That is talking about child abuse. And again, our staff are going to be the first person that you contact if you are worried about that. I think if there are questions, Malinka's probably monitoring the chat for me, and then I will take time at the end. But if anybody has any questions now, go ahead and put them in the chat. So again, I'm the volunteer coordinator. I'm Laura Jackson. I've been emailing all of you. I am your point of contact now, but starting tomorrow or at the end of this call, your staff are going to be, the staff at the center are going to be your main contact. So if you're sick, running late, you want to switch days, please contact your center staff. If you need something, some particular resource at their center, please ask them. If you have questions about your students, ask them. I'm not saying I never want to hear from you, because I certainly do. I am still looking for new volunteers. I think I emailed everybody about that today. So if you have volunteer recruitment ideas for me, if you have ideas for a training session, if you have career development contacts, anything like that, would be happy to hear from you. And just happy to hear success stories. So now I'm going to start going through some slides, and I think Malinka is going to put in the chat this contact information, and all the pictures are the pictures of the building. So if you're brand new and you haven't seen where you're going, here's a little clue. But as I said, your staff members at the center are your most important contact people. So right now you could get out your cell phone and put in their center phone number because you can call them or text them. So Apex and Fort Henry, I'll try to not go too fast. Gates of Ballston is Selah and Adriana. Harvey Hall, we have Miss Norma and Mr. Ricky. The Shelton, Edgar. Virginia Gardens, Yeshi and Nagat. I am going a little fast, sorry. But it is in the chat, so you can look over there. And then at Woodbury Park, Amara and Brenda are the staff members there. And this photo, if you're a returning volunteer, might not look familiar because we're using a different entrance this year. So this is just around the corner from that courtyard. All right. So I just want to talk a little bit more about what you'll be doing when you're with the students. And I want to be very clear that even though we emphasize literacy and academics, building the relationship with the students is the most important thing you can do. It's never a waste of time to play games, color. During the beginning of the year, our staff will have some get to know you activities. They've got some questions. That is really important, especially for the teens. Little kids are easier maybe to work with the volunteers right away, but please, please don't think that you're goofing off if you're not doing the academics and you're doing something that's building a relationship. That's very important. So if you are volunteering with our elementary school students, we do emphasize literacy. All of our centers have books, bookshelves, literacy games, almost anything that you could want. But if you've got something better at home or a favorite book at home, you're welcome to bring it in. We have a literacy expert on staff, and we're going to have a training session for everybody sometime later this fall. So stay tuned for that. And as much as we're about literacy, our students also need help with math. So we've got math games and math resources as well. If you want to switch it up, or if you know that your student needs help with math. And I'm saying all of this because elementary school students don't always have homework, or maybe very rarely have homework other than the 20 minutes of reading that they're supposed to do. So the staff at the centers will talk more specifically about the resources they have there. And hopefully y'all have some time to share ideas with each other, but we do have a lot of material. So if it's your first time, you'll have lots to explore. The last thing to mention about the elementary school students, we use a program called iReady, and that is how we assess where the students are with their reading. So you may or may not see the students doing that or talking about that, but it's something that they do online. And occasionally a student might be doing that and need some help focusing or something. So, so you might be asked to help with that. Our teen program is called Project Discovery Teen Program. Project Discovery is our main funder, maybe our only funder for the teen program. So again, it's a program that 2 nights a week, the teens are coming in to work with our volunteers on academics. But as I said, relationship building, the most important thing. So starting your time with your student, getting to know them, checking in, seeing how they're doing, that's important. Student View and Canvas are the online programs that the Arlington Public Schools use to keep track of assignments and calendars and stuff. So our students have accounts and can sign into their accounts, and you can ask them to do that. If they say, I don't know what my homework is, well, let's see what you've got on Canvas. If the student is acting like they've forgotten their password, you can always check in with the staff because we have that as well. So some of you are going to come with students, have students that know exactly what they need to get done that night. And others of you are going to need to help them plan, prioritize, look ahead. Ooh, if it's a test that's 2 days from now, it could count as homework today. We could start studying right now. Even organizing the backpacks is something that you can help your student with. So again, our centers have a lot of resources, so the staff will be talking to you about that. In some cases, we have textbooks. We know, our staff know how to use the Student View and Canvas. There are other online resources that our staff might have access to that can help you if there's if there's something that your student needs help with that you don't know how to do, you can learn together. So that is the main thing that you're going to be helping students with. But I wanted to talk about something new. Project Discovery has workshops and touch points, and our staff will talk to you more about that either tonight or later on during the school year. But these are on topics like financial literacy, career exploration. There's some wellness topics. One of them is yoga or Zumba. So our staff are going to be organizing workshops for the students on these topics. And if you are interested in helping with that, that would be awesome. It could be a 30-minute workshop on a particular topic, either something that you already know well, or you're willing to look at the resources that we have, because we've got giant binders with workshop ideas and outlines and stuff. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please follow up with the staff at your center. If you're not into leading a workshop, but your students out of homework, like they really don't have anything to do, you can look at what those touch points are and, talk about your own career. Bring in a copy of your own resume to talk about resume writing. You don't have to do the formal workshop, but this is still all stuff that's really valuable for our students to learn more about. So I've been talking for a while. I'm wondering if anybody has any questions. We are a big group, so you can put them in the chat, or you can just speak. Any questions?
I was just going to ask about about the reading specialist that you mentioned. Is that a roving person, or is that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so that'll be a roving person that pulls students out to work individually, but we also want to impart some of her skills and knowledge to the volunteers. So somebody's asked for a link to the mandated reporter training, and I can look for it to put it in the chat, but I will also send that out to everybody afterwards. Okay, so what we're going to do at this point is, hey, I like Josephine, thank you. We're going to go into breakout rooms by center, and the staff are going to talk to you. I'm going to stay in the main room, so you at the end of talking with your staff, you can come back to the main room and ask any questions, or you can just sign off. So please know how much I appreciate you volunteering this year. We're really happy to have you. Thank you for attending tonight. And let's see how smoothly we can get these breakout rooms done.